friends, welcome to Booty Bootcamp. For this workout, you are going to want your mini band and or booty band. I have a step here. If you have one of these steps, you're going to want that. You can also do this without it, or you can grab like a really thick book, like a dictionary, or if you have a yoga block, that will also work. You just want something that you can step up onto and or put your feet onto for an optional elevated glute bridge. We're going to start here in a second. You're going to want one lighter weight and one heavier weight if you have it. You can also do this with no weights or something like laundry detergent or dog food or cat food. Let me grab my booty band. We're going to get started. All right, so we're going to first warm up with a single leg toe touch. So you're going to pick a foot. I'm going to start with my left foot. We're going to roll down the front of our thigh. Option to kick that leg up behind you and come down and touch, or for a little bit more stable option, you can leave that back foot on the ground and we're just going to roll down single leg deadlift style. If you can't quite get all the way to the floor, that's okay. And we're just going to do a couple more here. Before we switch sides. Last one, I want you to roll down. Bring your feet a little bit wider if you need to. You can drop that back foot if you want. And we're just going to drop the head into a nice little stretch here. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Take your head side to side. All right, and then go ahead and roll up one vertebra at a time. We're going to switch sides. So shift your weight into that other foot. Roll down. Option to take that leg up behind you, or if you need a little bit more stability, you're going to keep it on the ground. And take your time on these. We're starting off a little bit slower than normal. So just take advantage of it. And if you start with your foot down and you want to switch it up, I encourage you to get curious, play around. All right, last one. We're gonna roll it down, bend your knees if you need to, drop those hands to the floor, spread your feet out wide, drop the head, and just kind of enjoy that stretch in the back of your hamstrings. Wiggle around there a little bit. All right, then we'll roll up one vertebra at a time. Now we're gonna go into a windmill. So I want you to grab one weight. You can either hold it in your bottom hand, like I'm going to, or if you have a little bit stronger shoulder strength, or you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you're going to hold the weight up overhead. You're going to shift your weight kind of mostly into your left foot, and you're going to turn your toes out. You're going to take that weight in your left hand. Right arm is going to go overhead. You're going to push the right hip back and roll that weight down like you're trying to touch the floor and come back up. So again, weight can be up overhead. You're gonna look up at it, or it can be down here where I have it. And we're just pushing those hips back. Show you from the side. Kind of back and away. And again, you should feel a really nice stretch in that left IT band, hamstring, kind of back of the knee area. And then we're kind of twisting and opening that chest up and looking up at the sky as we go down. And you'll notice if you play around and switch that weight up to the top, whoo, it changes things a whole lot. All right, let's go one more here. All right, and then come up. Let's roll the hips around, nice big circles before we switch over and do that other side. And if you have any questions or need anything, just kind of wave your hands at me or drop it in the chat. Let's roll down on the other side. So we're just pushing that left hip back, rolling the right hand down, the inside of our leg and back up. More advanced option is to take the weight into your upper hand here. If you need something a little bit less intense, you're gonna go a little shallower here. All right, let's do 2 more here. And 2. All right, shake it out. We're gonna come back to that one at the end. Let's go ahead and grab both of our weights. We're gonna start with a sumo deadlift. So you're gonna bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Toes are pointed out. You're gonna bring the weight either to the front of your thighs or kind of behind. And then you're going to hinge forward at the hips, push the booty back, fold forward, and come up. Push back, fold forward. Keep your chest open, heart out. Good. And if you're not quite feeling warm enough yet, definitely stick to a lighter weight, or you can also do body weight. Let's go. 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Down, and then roll up, shake it out. We're gonna go into a single leg deadlift. Option to keep both of your weights or drop down to just one if you want. Pick a leg. I'm gonna start with my right. Shift your body weight into that right leg. Dig that front big toe into the mat. Spread out your toes nice and wide. Back leg can lift up as you hinge forward, or it can stay flat on the ground for a staggered stance. Keep your chest open. If you lose your balance, just come back to it. Maybe drop the foot for 1. All right, 2 more here. And last one. Stand up. Let's do one more set of those big juicy hip circles. And then switch directions. All right, shift your weight into your left foot. Bring those weights out in front. Fold forward, hinge at the hips. And that back leg, you want to keep those toes pointing down towards the ground. So when I start doing this. Keep pushing here. Bend, snap up to straight. 2 more here. Try to challenge yourself to get that leg up even just a little bit on these last 2. All right, shake it out. We're gonna come into a sumo squat now before we go back to those sumo deadlifts. So you can bring the weights up to your shoulders and in front for slightly more challenging, or keep them out in front. Hands relaxed at your hips. Drop that booty down, knees track out over that middle toe. Turn your feet in a little bit more if you need to. Keep going. Ooh, excuse me. Anybody else majorly struggling with allergies right now? Yeah. Whew. Keep going here. Depending on how heavy your weight is, you can stop here or keep going with me. Two more, last one, we're gonna hold. Option to set your weights down. Bring it down, hold for 5. You can lift your heels up if you want a little spicier option. All right, go ahead and bring the heels down. Go ahead and stand up. We're coming back to that sumo deadlift. So adjust your weights if needed. Get in position and let's hinge forward. Push the booty back like you're closing that car door. On a sumo, your legs are gonna stay a little bit straighter. Notice my knees aren't really bending a whole lot, but we're still hinging at the hips, pushing that butt back, and then squeezing the glutes to come forward. Keep going here. Last one. Push that booty back and then come up. All right, adjust your weight if you need to. I'm going to switch to one heavier weight instead of the two smaller weights for the single leg deadlift. You have the option to hold it in the same hand of the leg that's working, or you can hold it on the outside. Again, it's just personal preference. Try to play around with getting that leg up, even if it's just barely leaving the floor. Tighten up the movement a little. Whew. Let's go one or two more, depending on how heavy your weight is. All right, come up. Let's go ahead and do a couple of hip circles here. Just kind of good to reset the core, reset the pelvis. Switch directions. All right, and then when you're ready, we're gonna go into that other side. So shift your weight into your opposite foot, change your weight into the other hand if you want. If you're only using one hand to hold the weight, bring the other arm out to the side may be beneficial. Nice job, friends. And if you're struggling with getting that toe up, just practice it. Keep going. All right, one more here. All right, go ahead and roll it up. Let's go ahead and grab our booty band, and then you're gonna want that book, step, yoga block if you have it. I know we're increasingly using a step more and more. So if you want the link for the one that I have, it is adjustable. It goes up to another height, and then the bench part of it actually has an incline that you can set in two different positions. So let me show you without the step. So you're gonna step out to the side if you don't have a step, come into a side lunge, bring it back to the center, and then you're going to kick back. So side step, side lunge, come back to the middle, glute kick back. Side step, center, glute kick back. If you have a step, you're gonna get nice and close to that step, block, book, whatever you got, you're gonna step up with the left foot, and then you're actually gonna kick back with your right leg, and then you're gonna step down. So it's a side step up, right glute kick back, okay? So get ready, get in position. You can also grab some weights if you wanna add a little extra resistance to this, either holding one at the center of your chest or holding them in each hand. And let's go, we've got 12 on each side. So if you have that step, you're doing the kick back with the opposite leg. So left foot step up, right foot kick back. If you're doing the side lunge, you're stepping out with your left foot, kicking back with your left foot. And you can just leave your foot up on the bench if you're doing the step up option. And this is really nice because you can stand it up on one end, put it up against a wall. If you have a higher couch or a higher bed, it's only about, I think, 7 inches high when it's folded flat. So you might be able to just slide it into your bed when you're not using it or stash it in that hall closet. All right, we got 2 more here. Bring it down. Kick it back. All right, refresher, just for those doing the side step out option, you're gonna step out to the right, come into that side lunge, come back to the middle, glute kick back with your right. If you have a step or the block, you're gonna step up with your right foot, kick back with your left. So pick your option. And you're probably actually working quite a little bit harder with that side lunge step out than you are with the step up. You can also bring your step up higher if you want. Keep going here. 2 more. Last one, bring it down. All right, go ahead and step off. Grab a little quick sip of water if you need it. Since you have that booty band on, we're gonna do some side to sides. So drop down into a squat stance, fast or slow. Creeping to one side of the mat, creeping back. Keep that pelvis tucked under. Chest open. Don't start hunching over. Tiny steps, keeping tension on that band the whole time. Your feet are not quite coming together. From the sides, what it looks like. You'll see, trying to maintain a neutral spine here. Just a slight hinge forward at the hips, but still keeping that chest open. Keep going. 1 more time. All right, bring it back to the center of your mat. Shake it out. We're gonna go back to that step. Again, band is optional. If you wanna take the step up higher, go for it. Weight optional. No step, you're doing that side lunge, step out, bring it back to the middle, and then kick back. Otherwise, follow my lead. Step up with the left, back with the right, bring it down. Up with the left, kick back with the right. So I'm just showing you, you can get an idea of the side, but it should be a lateral step up and kick back. Really working those abductors and adductors. You'll start to feel it in your quads a little bit too. And in that glute medius. Keep going. When you get to the end of your rep range, where you feel like you just can't do another rep, you're gonna come and you're gonna pull saddle mat kick back for 10 to 15 reps, okay? So you know when you're reaching that point. Oops, forgot the kick. All right, and then when you reach that max rep range, feel like you can't do another one, to hinge forward, kick back, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, bring it down. Shake it out, give those glutes a little tappy tap. We're gonna switch to the other side. Up and kick back. If you don't have a step, remember you're doing that side step lunge. And then kicking back with that same leg that's stepping out. Step up, so you're coming up with the right, back with the left. Ooh. Then when you feel like you can't do another rep or you get to about 15, you're gonna come into that glute kickback position and kick back 10 to 15 times. Bring it down, shake it out, set that weight down, grab a little sip of water if you need it. Ooh, we're gonna go one more set of side to sides. We're gonna add a squat to it this time. So squat, come up and do a calf raise or squat jump, side, squat, calf raise, side step. You know I love a good squat jump and some side to side steps. These are really good, especially as we get older, for balance, as well as maintaining that lateral mobility and preventing knee and hip injuries. And I know it burns, but I promise you can do this. Just take your time, take the band off if it's too much. Come up a little bit higher. So just do your squat and then come back up to standing. One more time. Squat, bring it up, bring it over. One more squat. All right, shake it out. You can go ahead and slide that band off. Keep it handy, we're not done with it yet. Grab one of your dumbbells, or if you have a kettlebell, this would be a great time to grab it. We're gonna do a staggered stance kettlebell swing. So you're gonna come into that same staggered single leg deadlift stance, right leg back, feet are a little bit wider than hip distance or hip distance apart. Shift your weight more into that left leg. You're gonna hinge forward with hips, bring the dumbbell or kettlebell between your legs and swing and push your hips forward. Keep the arms relaxed. And you're hinging at the hips, pushing that booty back. Keep going. All right, bring it up. Switch your feet, we're gonna switch sides. Everybody doing okay? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. If it's too much for you, it's hurting your back, you can always bring it back to a regular kettlebell swing. But give it a try. Play around with your feet position, bend your knees. You can even kind of turn, take it at a little bit of an angle. But we're truly trying to mimic that single leg dead lift, single leg hip hinge movement. All right, last one. Bring it up, shake it out. We're gonna do that one more time. If you don't need the rest, you can get right back into it. We're gonna switch back to the other side. If you have a dumbbell, you're just kind of cradling it on the edge. Get ready and go. It should be nice and comfy in that hip hinge movement since we've been doing it as a starter class. And last one. All right, switch sides. And this is not a new movement, right? It's the same movement we make when we go down to tie our shoes, we go down to pick up our groceries, our kid, our dog or cat off the floor. Get ready. Wander baskets. Really important as we age too. Keep going. All right, shake it out. Grab that booty band, come down to the floor. You're gonna want that step, book, block, handy again. If you don't have one, you're gonna keep your feet flat on the floor, or if you have an empty wall, couch, coffee table nearby, you're gonna put your feet into that wall, push into the wall with your feet, squeeze the glutes and lift up. or you can always take it here, okay? And we're gonna lift up, hold 1, 2, pulse out 1, 2, hold 1, 2, bring it back down. Or you can lift it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then lower it, okay? So pick whatever option feels good. Got ready, and go. And lower it down. Hands are down by your side. You can also bring them straight up. Bring it down. If you don't have a band, you can also grab a pillow. If you're winning your little ball, if you have a Pilates ball, or if you have kids and your kid has a little ball, you can squeeze that between your thighs in lieu of bringing it out against the band. Keep going. And if you already started, it's in another room. Don't bother going to get it. Just stay here, stay focused. You can always use it next time. Sometimes I don't think of these things till after we've started. All right, keep going. The last one, I want you to hold it up. Option to pulse out, or you can just hold and bring it down. Go ahead and bring those feet to the outside edge of your mat. Flat on the floor, rock your hips to side. Big deep breath in and out. We're gonna lift back up into that bridge with our feet flat on the floor this time. And we're gonna go into a little march. So you're gonna lift up. Option to just lift alternating heels. A little more advanced is to start picking the feet up. Just don't stomp them back into the ground. Or you can do a full kick and bring it down. Okay, so find the option that's best for you. Maybe it's a combination. And we're gonna stay here for 10 seconds. Maybe a little longer. How we feeling? Good? All right, keep going. Let's go for another 10 seconds. You got this. Bring it down if you need a little break, or come back to the heel lift option. 2, 1, bring it down. Rock those hips side to side. All right, now I want you to bring one leg up, and you're going to open it out to the side and bring it back to center. You can keep a slight bend in it. Option to take the band off if it's too much. For me today, it's too much. So we're gonna open out to the side, back to center. Out to the side, back to center. You can also leave that band around the edge of your foot if you need a little extra support as you go out. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna bring that in, shake that hip out, straighten the leg, lower down towards the floor, keep the toes pointed, back to center, down, back to center. Keep going. Keep those hips pressed into the mat. One more here. All right, bring it in, bring that foot flat on the floor. Other leg goes up, right out to the side. We're almost done. You've come this far, don't stop now. Last one. We're gonna bring it back to middle, and we're immediately going into those lower, straight down towards the floor, keeping the leg in line with the hip. Think about scooping your belly to push that mid to low back into the floor gently, not forcefully. And if you're feeling a lot of pain or pulling across the top of your thigh, just make it smaller, okay? 2, we're almost there. And bring it back in. Walk those hips over to one side. Keep your shoulders on the ground. You can look in the opposite direction of your legs. Deep breath in. Let any tension you're holding on to go. It's done. You made it. It's over. Inhale, bring your legs back to center. Exhale, bring them over to the other side. And you are now officially a badass with a good ass. One more deep breath in. All right, and then hug those knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to seated and thank your body for what it did. Make sure you stretch and drink lots of water after this. Have a great night.